I think we're going back to the Marnie woman a little bit. I think last season was so kind of severe and graphic and, you know, which was appropriate for that collection. But I think this time it's spring, summer, there's a little bit more of a lightness. Consuelo spoke a bit more of a movement in the hair, a lighter hand, a little bit sexier as well. So the hair's a little bit kind of bedheady, the texture very dry, but very organic. There's not really a reference to the hair, it's just pulled back hair, like a girl when she comes in for a fitting.
Well, the makeup is very fresh. Normally we play with a lot of color, with a lot of funny shapes, kooky makeup, and 2 days ago when I went to look at the collection, I realized that the collection was very essential of Marnie. So I was thinking, that's how the girl should look also here. So we are going to the essential with looking beautiful and looking healthy.
The Marnie collection was so incredibly strong, and there was this beautiful architecture to it that stood away from the body, and it had a sense of like a really great designer hitting her stride. It was intellectually fascinating and also just incredibly graceful.
I mean, I absolutely loved that they had these kind of wider silhouettes and kind of stiffer fabrics, and there's this whole movement, and I thought Marnie did such a great job of it with clothes that are kind of standing a little bit more away from the body. It's the top and the bottom, it's not just one or the other, and I thought that the solid colors and moving away from pattern a little bit was also incredibly sophisticated, and I loved the shoes. I thought every shoe that went on that runway was perfection.
I always love Marnie. I have a soft spot for Marnie, but this was actually one of my favorite shows. It had there was something a little bit Japanesey about it, in the kind of Yohji Con way that's been big this season, but in their own unique way. I love the fact that there was a mix of plain, kind of solid colors, but the opening checks were just wonderful. And there was a real lightness of being about it that really had the Marnie stamp with the kind of quirky off colors, but it was just all light and breezy. I thought the white sundresses were absolutely beautiful.
It's always very spirited. You know, you leave feeling great, and I think that, you know, it's very interesting this season. There's a lot of black and white. You know, she was one of the, at least there were some prints in the show, and you expect that from Marnie. Interesting volume. You know, love the leather, and that's like another trend we're seeing, which is crazy, and of course black and white. So, I mean, again, I thought it was a really pretty show.
White is always a trend for spring, summer. I mean, but I think we've seen a lot of really amazing crisp chalk white clothes. A lot of them that stand away from the body. We saw it at Marnie, we've seen it at other collections, and I think it's a really endlessly flattering, appealing idea that you want in summer.
I've seen a lot of white this season. It's a really interesting, I've seen it in white leather, so not in usual constructions, but in like laces. So I think it's going to be a very bridal spring.
There were very strong graphic shapes, but the shapes are kind of rounded and soft, and it was really a very interesting collection.
love Marnie. She always does great prints, and she mixes the prints so well. I loved the drop shoulder silhouettes, and then the peplums, and then the swing skirts underneath. It's hard for a woman to understand how to wear the peplum trend, and the way she showed it was really wearable with a full skirt with the matching prints was just beautiful.
Some of it didn't even seem so much like a peplum as more embraced in the whole shape of the top or the dress. And I thought that was interesting because the peplum has been something that's been around, but this was also a step forward from that.
I've been a big fan. I remember when she was selling her collection in a hotel here in Milan with only the crux of the collection were coats. And she had these beautiful flower prints. And you know, there's always one thing that's really interesting about Marnie. There's always sort of a charm and a youthfulness and sort of femininity at the same time, a little bit of quirkiness, a little bit of eccentricity, but it's nothing too hard-edged or too fashion. And I think that's always going to be in style. She just has a lifetime formula, and as she continues with the collection, there'll just be more interesting and fun and artistic things that she'll do. It's a brand for a lifetime. You can be a lifetime Marnie customer.